So this is my initial review of the iPhone from Verizon. I've had it now for about 4 or 5 hours and has sufficiently played around and beat it up a little bit and tried it out, and so far pretty good. Everything's pretty intuitive, done in the traditional Apple style. It just works. No chief complaints about the phone yet. I'm coming off of a tour of duty with the Verizon HTC Thunderbolt, running the Android operating system, and found immediately with the iPhone I was missing a lot of things I had with the HTC Thunderbolt. Specifically, it's just been great to be able to tap and hold onto a contact, be able to dial them and text them. And with the iPhone, I found I had to do 4 clicks just to send somebody a text message from the contacts. Now, my iPhone friends tell me that I'm missing a whole bunch of different ways to do it, but just intuitively, I actually found the Android operating system to figure things out a little bit better. Setting up my ActiveSync account with my corporate Exchange server was a piece of cake on the iPhone. Again, just had to enter in some simple credentials, my email address, my username, password, and that sort of information. Everything just worked pretty well. Very quickly was able to set up some sync account features like my email and my contacts and my calendar. I guess it was, and this is a known inconvenience, but when I had to originally set up the phone, I had to download iTunes and put it on my computer. And I guess everybody's heard that now, but I'm just voicing my own complaint. That stinks. To have my IT manager tell me that I just have to run iTunes on my work computer didn't feel right to me, but I guess I'll get over it. There, now I'm over it. So playing around with the front-mounted camera on this phone, which can be used for Apple's FaceTime, which is the video chat utility that you could do with other Apple iPhone users or iPad users. The phone physically is great. It just feels right in my hand. It's the perfect size, very intuitive to use. The features in the phone are pretty easy. Again, comparing it to my Android phone, I missed the 4 little hardware buttons that are available to me. My menu, my back button on the bottom. I find my thumb having to stretch a bit to the top of the screen to go to the done button or the back button or the inbox button, whereas on the Android phone I would just have to hit the back button on the bottom. So in terms of one-hand operation, I think I'm going to have to give it to Android. I think Android's got it figured out a little bit better. The pure touchscreen interface, with the exception of the single kind of home button on this, I'm sorry, but I still think that Android has that covered. Lots of things this does well. HTML-based email out of my Exchange server has been great. It looks great. It performs great. Downside, email, I seem to have to scroll to the bottom of my messages to get all my attachments. Kind of annoying if you just want to open up an email and get an attachment and there's 14 emails that you have to scroll down to get to the attachment. Again, maybe I'm missing something and somebody's going to tell me that, but for right now it bugs me. The feedback keyboard on the iPhone works great. Auto corrects most of the miscommon misspellings. When you miss a character or two in the word, it figures it out for you. That's been great. To type in the phone works landscape or portrait mode, which in most every app, which seems to be great. The camera takes actually pretty good pictures. Again, compared to any sort of full-time use camera, it's never as good. The flash isn't as good. My Android HTC Thunderbolt, the flash seemed to carry a little bit further. I think that is because it has 2 LEDs on the back, whereas the iPhone only has 1. Some other things, the volume buttons on this iPhone feel great. All the rest of the hardware on the phone has been excellent too. The apps are extremely well done. The App Store is a piece of cake to get through and navigate, download stuff. Tons of free apps. Unbelievable how many things you can get for this phone. Already have the Cisco VPN client on this phone. Lots of really neat things. The integration with Wi-Fi and my home network was a piece of cake too. It typed in a password and instantly figures out that it's much better to be on the Wi-Fi than it is to be on the 3G. Which brings me to my last point. HTC Thunderbolt from Verizon is a 4G phone. So when I'm in 4G coverage, I have gotten 15 megabits. This phone tops out at about 1.5 megabits. So that is a function of the technology. It is supported on the phone and not the actual phone itself. But there you have it, my first glance at the iPhone 4. This is Chris Cisnowski from B&W Control Systems saying, hang on, there's always more opinions around the corner.